yesterday we talked about adjectives and we talked about the linking verbs, so adjectives. Remember, adjectives are descriptive words, and of course we know that. What we talked more in depth about is like how things are described. So there are descriptive words that say how many, there's descriptive words that say what kind, and there's descriptive words that say origin, like where it's from. And then we also talked about linking verbs, how sometimes there is a word that comes before the adjective. So for example, food was our noun or our subject, good was our adjective, and then our linking verb was that it smells good. So that is what we talked about yesterday. Today we're moving on to articles. And you know what articles are, you just probably don't know they're called articles. So an article is a type of adjective that refers to and gives information about a noun. A is an indefinite article that is used before a word that begins with a consonant sound. A becomes an, when the next word begins with a vowel. A and an refer to general nouns. The is a definite article and indicates a specific noun. So here's an example. Greg bought a comic book. Okay. There were pictures of superheroes on the first page. Okay. A and the. So for these, you literally have to read them in your head and think what sounds better, A or the. So let's do some together. Fill in a blank with the correct article, a or an. Okay, so there's only two options for 1 through 3. The store owner said it was a amusing story, or the store owner said it was an amusing story. Does anyone know? Rochelle. Try again. It is an because this is a vowel. If the next word starts with a vowel, it has to be an. A-N. Vowel means A-N. So the next one, I wanted to buy blank comic book for my cousin. Is C a vowel or a consonant? Consonant. So is it A or an, everyone? A. The next one, I hear this comic is part of blank popular series. What is P, a consonant or a vowel? Consonant. So is it A or an, everyone? A. So remember, vowels, A, E, I, O, U. If it doesn't start with A, E, I, O, U, then it is going to be just A, not an. And then, complete the sentence with the correct article. This is either A or the. So, making a comic book is simple, or making the comic book is simple. Mark. It is A. Making a comic book is simple. Blank collection was the most popular in the store. A collection was the most popular in the store, or the collection was the most popular in the store? Olive. The. You are correct. And number 6. It was fun exploring a new comic shop in our neighborhood, or it was fun exploring the new comic shop in our neighborhood. No, I said both. You just weren't listening. So is it was fun exploring a new comic shop in our neighborhood, or it was fun exploring the new comic shop in our neighborhood? Ella? I disagree. I think it is the. Because we are talking about a specific shop. It was fun exploring the new comic shop. Because it's in our neighborhood, we're talking about the specific shop, which makes it the. So we are going to move on to our actual homework page. I'm going to give you a few seconds. And remember, we're doing all these together, so we're about to get lots of practice. So I need you to split your screen. That way you can follow along with me as I'm typing. I'm waiting, Isaac. I literally just said I'm waiting. But you should have my screen up on one side and yours on the other so you can type it in as we go. And the articles are literally a, and, or the. Like, you only have 3 choices. You just have to read all of them to decide which one is the better choice. Ava. I cannot hear you. Yes, that's fine. You don't have to. If you're here in school, you do not have to be on the Meet because it is on my screen. If you're here at home, you obviously have to be on the Meet because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see it. If you are here in school, you can look on my screen. If you don't want to be on the Meet, that's fine. So, I'm just going to review what an article is, even though we just learned it. The words the a, and an are adjectives called articles. This is a definitive article because it points out a specific person, place, or thing. Like in our last example, we were talking about the specific comic book store in our neighborhood, not just any comic book store, the one in our neighborhood, which is why it was a definite article, the. A and an are indefinite articles because they refer to any person, place, or thing. Use an before a noun that begins with a vowel, A, E, I, O, or U. A newspaper launched a new comic strip. The paper is a small hometown paper. An edition of the newspaper comes out every day. So we have a whole bunch of these. We are going to fill in with a, an, or the. So we're going to do one at a time. Some of them have two. Some of them only have one. Okay, so the first one. Before creating blank new comic book, you have to come up with blank idea. Landon, please tell me. A where? There's two.
Before creating a new comic book, you have to come up with a new idea.
An idea. I agree with both of those. Before creating a new comic book, you have to come up with an new idea because an has the idea here, okay? Before creating a new comic book, you have to come up with an idea. I agree with both of those. So you should have a filled in the first blank and an filled in the second. Number two, it is also helpful if you are blank artists who can bring characters to life. It is also helpful if you are the artist who can bring characters to life, or are you also helpful if you are an artist who can bring characters to life? Zach.
Also helpful
and yes, and correct. If you are an artist, artist is a vowel because it's a, so it has to be an, not a. Perhaps you want blank book to be about blank awesome superhero. Angelina, what do you think?
Perhaps you want the book to be about an awesome hero.
Yeah, perhaps you want the book to be about an awesome superhero. It is an instead of a because a is the beginning of awesome, which is a vowel. Blank hero has blank series of adventures. Blank hero has blank series of adventures. Mr. Isaac is on virtually, and he said the heroes has a series of adventures. I would agree with that, Isaac. The hero has a series of adventures. It is a, not an, because this is an S, not a vowel. Each illustration can show blank good quality blank hero has. Each illustration can show blank good quality blank hero has. Ava? Each illustration can show a good quality the superhero has, or the hero has. I keep on saying superhero. All right. Of course, blank hero wins blank conflict. Julian, what do you think? Of course, blank hero wins blank conflict. We're talking about a specific hero, which means it's the hero wins. Of course, the hero wins the conflict. Should be the and the. Finally, blank villains are vanquished. Finally, the villains are vanquished. Finally, a villains are vanquished, or an villains. Elijah, what do you think? Yes, finally, the villains are vanquished. That means they're whoop whoop. Goodbye. Blank book comes to blank end. Nolan, what do you think? Blank book comes to blank end.
The book comes to a end.
It's an
Nope.
N, A, N. But yeah.
The books come to an yeah.
Because remember, this is an E, which makes it a vowel. So the book comes to an end. The movie was written based on blank story in blank book. Mark, what do you think? The story was written on blank story in blank book. Okay, I did not pay attention. The movie was written based on what? You could do, I feel like this one could be either way. The story in the book. It would be specific because we're talking about the story in the book. Or it could be a story in the book. This could be a or the, but we're talking about a specific book because we're talking about a story in the book. We watched blank movie with blank tub of popcorn. What comes before the, Evan? Or what comes before movie, Evan?
Oh wait, no, my bad.
The, we're talking about this specific movie with blank tub of popcorn. Rochelle? A tub of popcorn. So really, this one, you are just reading and seeing which one fits better, A or the, and then you know if it has that vowel like awesome or and, you have to just make it A-N instead of A. And then last, or second to last page, we have reviewing adjectives and articles. So remember, yesterday we talked mainly about the adjectives that are the descriptive words that tell us how many and what kinds, and it also can give you the origin of a person, place, or thing, like where they're from. An adjective can also have a linking verb. A, N, and the, oops, this one is supposed to be not italicized. The is supposed to be italicized. A, N, and the, that's hard to say, are special adjectives called article. A and an refer to any noun. The refers to a specific noun. So here we are underlining the descriptive adjective in each sentence. We are highlighting the noun or nouns the adjective describes, okay? So, I am excited to read the menu. So, what is our subject? What are we talking about in this first sentence? Mark. What's our subject? I is who I'm talking about. So I should be highlighted because that's who we're talking about. Our adjective is excited, so that should be underlined. And then am is our linking verb in the middle. We ate at the Vietnamese restaurant. What is our subject here in our sentence? What is our subject, Ella? No. Is it we? No, because we're describing the restaurant. Restaurant is our subject because that's what we're talking about. So our subject is the restaurant highlighted, right? Or are we talking about we? Maybe not. We ate. Because this is your verb. All right, I'll take it. So we are who we're talking about. This would be our verb. This would be our linking verb. At would be our linking verb. And then Vietnamese would be our adjective. And it gives us the origin. They, what? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's what I meant. The whole thing. That's what we're describing. They ordered 3 entrees. Anyone? They ordered 3 entrees. Who are we talking about? Everyone? They. We're talking about they did something. Yeah, now I'm kidding. No. 3 is our whatchamacallit. Entrees is what is our subject. So we're talking about entrees. Our descriptive word is 3, and it's telling us how many. Okay? The food on the plate is in front of me smelled spicy. So what are we talking about in our sentence? Food. We can say the food on the plate if we want to be super specific. And then spicy is our adjective. So spicy should be underlined, and our linking verb is smelled. We're not doing anything to that. We're just talking about them. My generous friend paid for our dinner. So, who are we talking about here? Okay, well, be more specific. Who are we talking about here? You just said that. Be more specific. Who are we talking about here? Friend. Yeah, we're talking about our friend. Friend is our subject. And generous is our adjective. Do we have to have a linking verb every single time? No, here we don't have a linking verb. There's nothing between our adjective and our subject, and that's totally fine. Yes. It's our, yeah, okay, so we can do it again. So dinner could be another noun, and whose dinner? Our dinner. That could be a descriptive, okay? So there's definitely more than one noun in sentences all the time. All right. The next one, all you have to do is highlight the correct article. That's it. Nothing crazy. So, a mammoth is blank extinct elephant from long ago. Is this A or N, everyone? And because extinct starts with an E. George visited the Natural History Museum or an Natural History Museum, everyone? The, because we're talking about a specific museum. Those fossils are the oldest in a museum in the museum. The. I wrote an essay about dinosaurs. I wrote a essay about dinosaurs. Everyone? And because essay starts with an E, and that's a vowel. And the last one, I read a book about, or no, that's read. Sorry, I'm supposed to read it as read, not read. I read a book about the museum's history, or I read an book about the museum's history. A. And then the final page, same one as always. We have to read our paragraph. So Lola wrote a paragraph about comic strips. We have to read her paragraph and look for any revisions or edits she should make. We have to answer the questions that follow, and we need to highlight the correct answer. So, it is called the new comic strip. Harry drew an action-packed comic strip based on a movie. His main character was an archaeologist. The archaeologist figured out the code to open a pyramid. He saw piles of treasures inside the tomb. He fought off murderous, violent thieves who wanted the priceless treasure. Ooh, what a good paragraph. 1. Which of the following is the best way to rewrite sentence 2 to add more adjectives, more descriptive words? So number 2, the main character was an archaeologist. Should it be his main character was an archaeologist and a teacher? His main character was a darling, brilliant archaeologist. His main character was the archaeologist, or make no change. Remember, we want to add more descriptive words. Which one adds the most descriptive words, Rochelle? B, we add darling and brilliant. Daring, I'm sorry. It says daring, not darling. Don't mind me. It's his main character was daring and brilliant. Both of these are describing the archaeologist. Teacher does not describe the archaeologist. That's another noun. That's another thing. So it is not A. C is even shorter than before, and it says what's the best way to rewrite it. So we know it's not make no changes because it already said we want to rewrite it. And number 4. Number 2. What change, if any, could be made to sentence 4 to add more adjectives? So sentence 4. He saw piles of treasure inside the tomb. Add glittery to describe piles. So he saw glittering piles of treasure inside the tomb. Add golden to describe treasure. He saw piles of golden treasure inside the tomb. Add gloomy to describe tomb. Or D, all of the above. Ava. I'm going to disagree with you. What should we add? Ella? I disagree. Polly? D. Every single one of those is an adjective, and every single one of them would make the sentence sound better. If we added all 3 of those, it would be he saw glittering piles of golden treasure inside the gloomy tomb. What a great sentence that sounds like. All right. So what questions do we currently have? Remember, you can use this whole 5 pages as a resource on your assessment on Thursday. The assessment is Thursday, not Friday, because we're not at school on Friday. So you may use this as a resource. Keep it open. On your quiz, make sure you are reading them to yourself. That's going to help you the most. Make sure it is making sense to you. Yeah, you're free to turn it in. You're free to turn it in. So remember, make sure it's making sense to you before you read it. You actually have to read it in your head to yourself, or read it aloud quietly to yourself. If you're home, just read it aloud to yourself. So if there are no questions, you are free to leave me. There is no live grammar meet tomorrow. We have Mrs. Bunch. No live grammar tomorrow. If you have
Bye.
any questions, let me know. Goodbye.
Bye, Miss Kniffle.
Goodbye. Hello? Oh, yeah. Okay. Bye. Landon, your mom is here early, I guess, so I need you to pack up, sir. Everyone else, well, my pickups may start packing up. Everyone else, we have a few minutes for you to be continuing what you were doing.